Need something built?
Okay. Game 2 of the series. Jesulin smashed CaptainSPrice pretty hard last game. Partially due to bad luck, for sure, but also due to a few early squad wipes that CaptainSPrice definitely could have avoided. Let's see how things go with reversed factions. We've got CaptainSPrice playing as Soviets this game. He's already chosen Shock Rifle, just like in his game versus Red Wings. He is a defending king currently against challenger Jesulin. Jesulin playing as Overcommando West in the East Base, driving oddly deep there with his SWS half-track. I guess he was, I don't know, just scouting. Crushes a little bit of cover on his way back. And Jesulin will go with 2 Volksgrenadier opening, and Quentin's doing our... Oh, God. CaptainSPrice is going with Maxim opening, just like he did against Red Wings.
Engineers have secured the sector. Awaiting command.
This now belongs to the people and workers.
And he's actually just using it to back cap for now.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
While Stern Pioneers and Volksgrenadiers make their way across the south, try and get territory under control. Volksgrenadiers cannot take this point that safely. Combat engineers in the building, they'll take some minor model losses. SWS half-track just kind of driving around, looking for a place to set up, looking for opportunities to push infantry if necessary, but it's going to back off now. Third Volksgrenadier squad is completed. His options are Luftwaffe ground forces, breakthrough, and scavenge. So no fortifications. We saw him utilize fortifications during the Starcross Cup, but for this game he's not brought that. And he has chosen to take salvage, which is the other commander that he used during Starcross Cup on this map. To give himself access to infiltration grenades so that he can take on garrison buildings and so on. Goes with a reinforced wire barricade over here to prevent this avenue of approach from being utilized. And a squad of conscripts is making its way across the left side.
The command vehicle has converted to a static building.
Stern Pioneers make their way into close range to fire on the combat engineers in the house, but they will disengage to go engage these conscripts in the south instead. So far, neither player committing to much of an engagement. I don't even know if there's been a model loss yet. I don't think so. Just like, okay, this squad lost 1 model. Conscripts will defend here in the north. CaptainSPrice. Maxim making its way towards this strategic point. Conscripts moving to do the same. Shoe mine will get cancelled here by Jesulin. Moving into an ambush position behind the hedge. Not sure if CaptainSPrice spotted that or not. He must have. Conscripts taking a wide path. Lots of very delicate infantry maneuvering in this game. Playing very carefully. Battle group headquarters in the base from Jesulin. No other manpower expenditures yet. I suspect he's waiting until he can field Jaeger light infantry to spend his current manpower reserves. CaptainSPrice operating on 3 conscripts and his Maxim machine gun. Volksgrenadiers find an opening on the cutoff. Try and shut down CaptainSPrice's income for now, while conscripts take control of the South VP.
We have an isolated sector.
Volksgrenadiers making their way towards
Our
this
territory is falling into enemy hands.
victory point. We'll start to harass that. The cutoff has been taken, but as soon as the central victory point's
Enemy
restored,
forces are capturing our supplies.
resource income's also restored here.
Anti-tank gun is ready for
Conscripts
action.
grabbing control of the munitions there in the south. Jesulin, with 6 minutes into the game, still not 2 command points for either player, which gives CaptainSPrice almost a little bit of an advantage, because he's continued to produce tier 0 and tier 2 units,
Soviet territory increased.
whereas Jesulin continues to float and operate on only his 4 infantry squads. Jesulin just loves playing around 4 infantry squads. Whatever faction. Sends them all over the map and just works on territory
Attempting to capture our
until they can
territory.
call in some form of more powerful unit. Whether it's shock troops or Jaeger lights. Very similar style as both Axis and Allies.
Engineers ready for assignment.
Fire incoming!
The sector is at risk.
Engage the shooter!
Shoe mines going down here.
Flamethrower is ready.
Flamethrower on the field, making its way towards the front lines.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Field gun on the field as well. That's not really going to have much to offer except the high explosive barrage, and we will see that CaptainSPrice is going with his flamethrower spam now after his 3 conscripts. Exact same build that he used against Red Wings this game. Maxim, then 2 more conscripts, then flamethrower spam into IS-2s. I don't even think he's fielded any shock troops. Not sure he's going to do it this game either. Looks like Jesulin, I was wrong. I read that wrong. He was not waiting to field Jaeger Light Infantry, but actually went into Tier 4 and is now fielding himself Obersoldaten. So, it's going to be some pretty scary infantry on the field for those flamethrowers to contend with. Pretty decent chance that some Soviet flamethrowers are going to burst to LMG 34 fire this game.
Get up there! Hold the gun! Shoot back, comrades! This is ours.
Shock troops can now be used to crush
Stern
the
Pioneers in the
enemy.
building doing very nice damage to that flamethrower squad. Will force it to retreat a little early. They get 2 flame crits on the Volksgrenadiers there before being forced to retreat though. Obersoldaten have completed from Jesulin, making their way to the front lines, and the engagement continues to revolve solely around the center of the map here, while CaptainSPrice actually takes a little bit of territory in the south unopposed. Jesulin's forces largely tied up here in the center, trying to overwhelm this position. Jesulin does not quite have access to infiltration grenades yet, so he has no way to destroy this house, and he will field 1 squad of Jaegers to go with his Obersoldaten, and is now purchasing himself a Panzer II.
Contact!
CaptainSPrice has the field gun on the field already, and AT grenades already researched, so he's prepared quite well for that looks, and should be able to fend it off. But as usual, Jesulin will probably be utilizing it for counter-harassment and not aggressive pushes or squad wiping, unless he sees an opportunity that it would be silly not to capitalize on. Obersoldaten moving up will force a flamethrower squad to retreat. This one in the house also being forced to retreat. Volksgrenadiers toss some infiltration grenades into the house, forcing conscripts out, almost destroying the building entirely. But CaptainSPrice will take the engagement and force Jesulin to retreat. Meanwhile, Panzer II is making its way up the right side and will be a serious threat to this heavily wounded squad. This one will probably get away. This one I'm not so sure. If he tosses an AT grenade, he can prevent it from chasing him on the retreat. Doesn't do that, he just retreats immediately on sight, sends the Maxim as well. Fortunately, Jesulin was kind of not charging too aggressively because he didn't want to take engine damage. Stayed at max range, so those squads should be able to get away just fine. And Jesulin will secure control of the north. But again, the south is being harassed completely unopposed. Jesulin losing control of the south fuel and munitions. His cutoff will be protected by this tier 4 structure, but not the fuel itself. At least not without vision. Jaegers are moving to remedy the situation, and Sturm Pioneers and Volksgrenadiers will take control of all territories in the north. Small engagement happening in the middle. Infiltration grenades on the flamethrower will retreat. He does notice the engagement. Good play by CaptainSPrice. There's a lot happening on the field right now. 3 simultaneous locations. But he does manage to get out of that engagement unscathed. Although these conscripts may not be able to say the same. They're getting chased to their doom. Field gun's not really available to screen. And there it goes. Not very many mines on the field from CaptainSPrice. In fact, I don't think there are any. As usual, he's spending all of his munitions on flamethrowers. So that Panzer II doesn't have to worry that much about hitting a mine with an aggressive chasing maneuver, but it does manage to wipe 1 squad of conscripts already. And will continue to be a serious problem for the flamethrower spam as well. As for fuel, he's up to 200. He will be able to field an IS-2 if he survives that long. He has great map control. His victory point situation is fine. Well, not fine. Or, wait, yes, he is fine. I don't know why Jesulin is on the left side and CaptainSPrice is on the right, when clearly, like, I don't even understand. So, yeah, CaptainSPrice is definitely good for victory points. Has a huge lead, 150-point lead. Jaeger Lights taking control of the south victory point. Maxim's going to be forced to retreat here. The 1 squad of Obers hasn't actually done that much. Looks like they had to retreat from a bad flamethrower engagement. CaptainSPrice will field himself a squad of shock troops, something he didn't feel particularly pressured to do against Red Wings, but I guess he thinks this will be helpful against Jesulin's infantry. Still no anti-tank from Jesulin, by the way. He's got 200 munitions in the bank, but has chosen not to spend that on Panzerschrecks, at least not yet.
Command level capabilities ready for deployment.
And Jesulin's fuel income is a little low. He just spent a bunch of fuel, in fact, on something. Okay, on a mechanized regiment headquarters. I wonder if he's going to go straight from looks into King Tiger. Might be the logical thing to do if he suspects that IS-2 spam is what CaptainSPrice is going for, but it seems like the IS-2 will probably still arrive before the King Tiger will, maybe, depending on map control. Depends on how the next series of engagements goes. Lots of infantry making its way out of CaptainSPrice's base. They're going to try and get some territory back under control in the north. Panzer II, as predicted, sticking with counter-harassment duties here in the south. We do have a mine planted by CaptainSPrice. Hopefully this squad will round the corner just in time. Maybe. Okay. Panzer II does chase, and it will need repairs, but a full squad of flamethrower combat engineers does get wiped. The anti-tank gun is on its way towards the south. In fact, the entire Soviet army is on its way towards the south to try and capitalize on the fact that Panzer II hit a mine. There's Jaegers available to screen, Obers, Volksgrenadiers. The Sturm Pioneers currently in Jesulin's base and will need to make their way down there as quickly as possible. But as long as this can make it in range of the Tier 4 structure, there's no real risk of it being destroyed, and the AT gun is not nearly close enough to make something happen here. In fact, it looks like CaptainSPrice will completely disengage and move back to defend his territory in the center and hopefully take some territory back in the north, since he knows he can't make an aggressive push against that Panzer II as long as it's in the protective zone afforded by that Schwer Panzer headquarters. Sprice's army making its way towards the north takes control of the strategic and munitions points. Grenade going onto this Maxim, tries to sprint clear, largely successful. Gets just out of the area of effect of that grenade, sets back up to fire on the Volksgrenadiers again. They'll be pressured into retreating. The Panzer II makes its way forward to fire on these conscripts, drops a couple models. I'll probably have to retreat as well. AT gun takes a shot, but it does not connect. Stern Pioneers take up a position in the church, and CaptainSPrice has taken control of almost all territories here in the north. He's going to do a little bit of light harassment on the south as well. Obersoldaten making their way back towards the center. Not even Vet 1 yet, only 8 kills on those. And they haven't found an opportunity to engage for very long, and I guess that's something that'll happen when you're fighting flamethrowers, although that AT gun is way out of position. Not sure those conscripts will survive either if he pays too much attention to the engagements happening in the north. Looks like he has noticed. There is a maxim available to screen. Overs can't get too close. Panzer II will continue to counter-harass here in the north. Smoke grenade goes down. Shock troops will probably be forced to retreat. 22 kills on this Panzer II already. That thing has been an excellent purchase. Pretty good grenade. Almost wipes the squad right there. With only one field gun, he's having a lot of trouble managing the threat of this Panzer II. When his IS-2 finally arrives, he'll actually have a way to chase and kill it, but until then, it will have complete dominance of the field. And that's the danger of going straight to IS-2. As Soviets, you get bullied by a light tank. Or a Panzer IV if you're against Oster. Still quite a ways to go. 11 command points. Probably feeling pretty rough. That being said, CaptainSPrice has maintained victory point control almost all game long. He still has a 100 victory point lead over Jesulin. Jesulin has 135 fuel in the bank though, not far off from a Panther at all. That being said, Panthers, I'm not actually sure a Panther's what he's going for. I don't think so. He's got fuel transfer on. Started purchasing Panzerschrecks. I think he's going to go straight for King Tiger because he wants to have the heaviest tank. Doesn't want to let an IS-2 bully his Panther around. He's going to just go straight for that King Tiger and make sure he has field dominance at all times.
Objective secured! Find cover! Grenadiers under attack!
CaptainSPrice is sending a lot of forces towards the north now. Just got Jesulin down to 300 points. He's losing control of the south to a lone Volksgrenadier squad, trying to get some territory back. Most of CaptainSPrice's forces will get some territory back in the north. Few squads are being sent by Jesulin to counter. I'm not sure they'll be able to win that engagement without the Panzer II's support, of course. The AT gun is in the general vicinity, utilizing ambush camouflage. Looks like CaptainSPrice is actually not going to dedicate that many forces to this area, though. Probably going to get forced away by the Obers and Stern Pioneers as they close the gap. Conscripts trying to oorah in on that Lux, and they will get an AT grenade off. Almost costing him that squad, but damaging the engine, preventing it from harassing for a little while, buying time for these squads in the north to get this territory under control and try to keep the clock ticking against Jesulin. He has taken control of the center victory point with these conscripts, while Jesulin continues to get most of the south territories under his control. Shock troops moving into close range while the Lux is damaged. Throw a grenade at those Sturms. They do dodge it just in time. Price drops a flamethrower here and loses it to some Volksgrenadiers. That's a pretty serious loss. One flame crit on the squad though. As it's retreating, they may not get away. Oh my goodness. Shock troops had to reload as they were crossing the road. That was terrible timing. They stopped firing. They throw a smoke grenade to try to retreat safely away from this Panzer II, or bait it into this AT gun. But it will disengage. Continues to play safe. Engagement happening in the center is going in these conscripts' favor. Volksgrenadiers will be forced to retreat, and the harassment squad is still unopposed down there, taking control of all territory. Obersoldaten are firing on those combat engineers, almost wiping them. And more infantry is coming out of Jesulin's base, and he is winning engagements on all fronts and getting a lot of territory under his control, and it looks like the victory point clock is going to start ticking against CaptainSPrice for some time now, until he can manage to win an engagement and get some field presence back. Looks like Jesulin is definitely going for King Tiger, no doubt in my mind about that anymore. And I think I was also wrong that the IS-2 was going to arrive first. I don't know, it's going to be close. It's gonna depend on how the following engagements go. They're gonna arrive at a similar time. There's not gonna be a very open window of opportunity for either of these players with their heavy tank.
Target secured.
Shock troops getting into close range on those Jaegers, taking heavy damage. They will be forced to retreat. Panzer II is up to 28 kills. That is brutal. And his Vet too. CaptainSPrice is all but ignoring that thing. He's only really utilizing the AT gun to just barely keep it from rampaging over all of his forces. He's made no truly aggressive attempts to try and hunt it down, and maybe that's because they just would not succeed. Another AT grenade just to force it off the field for a little while to get repairs. CaptainSPrice has finally hit 11 command points, and the IS-2 will arrive before the Königstiger by about 5 fuel. Jesulin almost managed to queue that up first. CaptainSPrice will need a second IS-2 to really truly have an advantage at any point of this game. He has a tiny window of opportunity while the Königstiger is actually in production, which he should try to take advantage of now. Wiping those Sturm Pioneers would be a huge win for him. Denying repairs, well, not really, there is a mechanized regiment headquarters. The IS-2 is on the field and applying pressure here in the center, trying to defend that victory point. Volksgrenadiers are going to move to take control of the north. Minesweeper could get wiped, maybe, nope. Get away by just a sliver. King Tiger's about halfway done. IS-2 is kind of running out of time to make a dramatic impact. But a lot of repairs available for those IS-2s. No doubt about that.
King Tiger, reporting for combat.
There it is, King Tiger on the field. These three squads continue to defend the central victory point. This squad of Volksgrenadiers working on the strategic point over there on the right side. IS-2 making its way to the front line. Forces a retreat from those squads pretty much immediately before rotating north to try and wipe this. CaptainSPrice clearly wants to try and pick up this squad wipe if he can. Trying to maneuver into his retreat path a little bit. IS-2 available as well. Looks like they're going to get away though. Probably could have played that a little bit better. Positioning. Although the top mount machine gun may be sufficient to finish it off regardless. Maybe. Nope, not quite. Panzer II engaging here in the center, but there is a field gun available to support. Volksgrenadiers moving to harass even more territory during the course of this engagement. Conscripts try to get in close for an AT grenade, then disengage and simply retreat. Doesn't matter. They will get wiped. The AT gun is not available to apply a little extra damage to that KT, and as a result, the engagement is turning against CaptainSPrice rapidly. He will be forced to completely retreat off the field as that King Tiger proves too much for him to handle. CaptainSPrice is about to collect the fuel he needs for his second IS-2, however. Once he has two of them, he may find that King Tiger to be slightly less threatening. But he's going to have to float quite a bit of manpower before that arrives. Fortunately, he's managed his manpower bleed quite well. Not a whole lot of losses on the squads that didn't get wiped. He still has a decent amount of repair power for the IS-2 as well. So in about 2 minutes, he will be able to field that next IS-2. shock troops forced to retreat.
The enemy is reduced to 300 points.
Gets sniped by those Jaegers. Just couldn't get out of there in time. Clock is ticking against CaptainSPrice pretty quickly now, and he's going to lose his hard-earned victory point lead.
Grenadiers back to full strength.
Jesulin now has control of almost the entire map. CaptainSPrice slowly waiting for his second IS-2 to hit the field.
Anti-personnel mines laid. Target captured. No enemy contact. Orders complete. Standing by.
Head down!
Suppressive fire!
A T-grenade connects with this Panzer II, and it could be destroyed by the IS-2 moving in from the north. There's a lot of shoe mines available down here. He's clearly going to try and bait that IS-2 over it, but I think it might backfire. Yes, it does. Mine is detonated by the IS-2 shot, and Panzer II is destroyed. Finally, CaptainSPrice gets a break. Actually takes out a priority target. Panzer II goes up in flames. The question is 2 IS-2s going to be enough to combat whatever Jesulin gets next? He's got 90 fuel in the bank with 34 coming in per minute because of his fuel transfer and huge map control. He's got 800 manpower. He might be saving for a second King Tiger. 2 King Tigers roll onto the field. 2 IS-2s will again be at a disadvantage. Here comes the second IS-2. Pretty good positioning here for CaptainSPrice. Not great turret rotation, though. We do have 2 Panzerschreck squads on the flank of the damaged IS-2. King Tiger's not taking that much damage here. A lot of shots bouncing, and this IS-2 just got cruise shocked. Pretty big hit from the IS-2 on those Volksgrenadiers, but a bunch of combat engineers just had to retreat, and their flamethrowers are really useful in these engagements to have to scare away these infantry. But unfortunately, they were forced off the field. King Tiger's taking a bit of damage, but it also nets itself Vet 1. CaptainSPrice trying to manage his opponent's infantry to the best of his abilities. Some IS-2 shots connecting decently. And it looks like Jesulin wants to re-engage here. Those IS-2s are falling pretty low. King Tiger still looks pretty good. The field gun is available to screen, however. And Jesulin is simply going to disengage. CaptainSPrice is down to only 3 squads of combat engineers right now, fielding some extra ones. He's going to need a lot of repair power to compete with that King Tiger, and of course, Stern Pioneers upgraded with the support package in combination with the Mechanized Regiment HQ are going to have no problem repairing that tiny amount of damage that's been inflicted to the King Tiger. Maxim's going to get wiped here by Obers and Jaegers. Kind of a shame. Not that it was all that useful anyway at this point. And combat engineers making their way towards the IS-2s to get them repaired. The clock's going to start ticking against CaptainSPrice again, and he's about 100 points behind. He needs to perform a little bit better in these engagements. 2 IS-2s to 1 King Tiger is basically the best conditions he's gonna get. Kind of a lot of Panzerschrecks on the field supporting it, though. So this is it. He's got to make this work. He really does have to make this work.
Maintain your discipline no matter what happens.
Capture complete. Standing by.
Comfortable saying that I am. Squad back to full strength.
Build complete.
Jesulin has actually switched off fuel transfer and activated munitions transfer. I wonder why. IS-2 takes a big hit from the King Tiger right there, and it looks like CaptainSPrice wants to get aggressive, but all shots on this IS-2 are penetrating, even from the Raketenwerfer and Panzerschrecks. No bounces at all. Kind of a bad engagement for that IS-2. King Tiger wants to finish the job. This Volksgrenadier blob supporting King Tiger is way too much AT. 2 IS-2s is just getting blasted down so quick. The combat engineers on the field with flamethrowers there's 3 of them. They're kind of tied up in repairs right now. It kind of needs those flamethrowers for firepower against infantry. Might wipe this Raketenwerfer at least. Yeah. There it goes. Jesulin disengages, doesn't take any full squad losses, I don't think. Pulls back for repairs, and he's getting a Panther. I kind of thought he was going to go for King Tiger, but then once he switched back to munitions transfer, that's not going to happen. Spends his existing fuel reserves on a Panther for a little bit of extra tank hunting power. And that will probably put CaptainSPrice back at a pretty severe disadvantage. Doesn't have the fuel for another IS-2 for a long time. He needs more anti-tank, so fields another field gun. And I think he's probably also going to want to put down some mines. Nice minesweeper play, by the way. Detects both of these mines, should be able to get those cleaned up, or just avoid them for now. Needs to focus on victory points, since he's falling quite behind. Meanwhile, Jesulin has planted mines everywhere, making great use of munitions transfer to do exactly that. One IS-2 leaves the center to counter-harass up here in the north. Changes his mind and brings it back. Sees the King Tiger.
The sector is at risk.
Field gun and 2 IS-2s is definitely enough to scare King Tiger a little bit. Gets crew shocked, all shots bound, crew shocked twice. It's kind of just stuck here. If it gets stun locked for too long, could be in a lot of danger. Shots penetrating, 3 in a row, 3 shots penetrated. CaptainSPrice has a huge opening here. He's gonna go for it. IS-2's closing on the King Tiger. 2 bounces in a row, but he does get a squad wipe on the Stern Pioneers. Panther has arrived, come on! Oh, the critical shot bounced. He's gonna keep it going. He's gonna keep it going. He's getting really risky here. The front IS-2 has fallen down to half health. I don't know what's gonna happen. CaptainSPrice doesn't like it either. He's pulling back, but he's taking engine damage. With Jesulin's Panther on the flank is taking huge damage, and it goes down. Panther barely had an impact at all. King Tiger's gonna be off the field for a while. CaptainSPrice isn't giving up the chase yet. Stern Pioneers are dead. Jesulin is queuing up a new squad now. The Vet 2 IS-2 is looking for that King Tiger, but it's way in the back, and another squad wipe! Another squad wipe! 3 of Jesulin's 5 Volksgrenadier squads evaporate in this engagement, and now CaptainSPrice has 2 high Vet IS-2s hunting for a King Tiger with only a tiny sliver of health remaining. Their Stern Pioneers being rushed to the battlefield to repair it now. CaptainSPrice has a beautiful window of opportunity to destroy this thing, but he's going to take his time, play it safe. He's repairing the IS-2 here in the back, trying to continue hurting these Volksgrenadier squads off the field. These might even get wiped by mass flamethrowers. Maybe. Not quite. They are going to make it away. But Jesulin is in a dangerous situation here. Very dangerous situation. Mass repairs going on those IS-2s. This King Tiger is being repaired at what feels like a snail's pace. Tier 4 structure's probably going to get destroyed. Field gun moving up to apply a little extra damage. The pressure is on. CaptainSPrice destroys the decrewed field gun right there. I guess he doesn't feel that he really needs it. One of his Vet 2 IS-2s has been fully repaired. The King Tiger's about halfway repaired. The Tier 4 structure is completely gone. And the IS-2s are in pretty good condition to continue their advance, continue to apply pressure. CaptainSPrice is not taking this opportunity to spread out and take more territory. He's going to just try to annihilate as much as he can with these 2 tanks while he has this window of opportunity. Scavenge artillery is getting dropped on the blob of combat engineers, and CaptainSPrice will be forced to retreat a little bit here. Doesn't really connect with anything. A little bit of damage to some combat engineers, but other than that, nothing too serious. CaptainSPrice has taken control of this cutoff. He's still bleeding victory points and has only 71 remaining. He really needs to start thinking about those VPs. He wants to kill that King Tiger, but at the same time, if he doesn't stop the clock, he's just gonna run out of time. He's gotta prioritize those VPs. And Jesulin seems to have turned the engagement around a little bit. Got some good repairs done on that King Tiger. It's in condition to engage again, and at Vet 2 it does have the armor bonus. 2 Rakettenwerfers on the field as well to screen against those IS-2s, making too aggressive of a play. One squad is being oora'd up to the VPs, but there is a squad of Jaeger Light Infantry in the way. He's going to have to dedicate more than just one squad of conscripts to harassment. And he's about to slide down to 50 victory points. IS-2s are not going anywhere, though. They will defend this road to the death. King Tiger gets a big hit. It's probably almost Vet 3. It's getting kind of scary. CaptainSPrice does still have this field gun here. King Tiger's a little above half. Crew shock. Rakettenwerfer there does get decrewed. Volksgrenadiers will recrew it. Conscripts hit a mine twice up here in the north. Combat engineers get encountered by Jaegers here. All of CaptainSPrice's harassment attempts are too weak. He needs to dedicate just a little bit more. Jesulin is keeping him contained on both flanks of the map with just like one squad. Oh no! Okay, so much for those conscripts. Both Rakettenwerfers dead low. Jesulin struggling with anti-tank. Struggling hard. 37 victory points left. CaptainSPrice, please get some VPs under your control. Yes, 750 manpower, what are you doing?
Engineers ready for assignment.
Only 30 victory points remaining. Come on, CaptainSPrice. You must stop the clock. Look at the victory points. 2 lucky penetrations in a row. King Tiger brought down to half health. Combat engineers, that's not gonna do it. Field some shock troops.
Sector has been cut off.
Anything. A KV-8? Interesting decision. Okay. I mean,
Enemy forces are neutralizing
guess that'll
the
work.
sector.
He's about to get cut off from all the territory he does hold. 20 victory points remaining. He needs to go get the VPs now. He cannot wait any longer. What is he waiting for?
Engineers are standing by.
Fielding more combat engineers. Just combat engineers and tanks. He's up to 99 out of 100 PopCap, yet he cannot seem to capture any map or any victory points. Ooh, that was a nasty artillery shell. Wow, wow, wow! What is this spread of artillery? That was huge! That was centered like right here! What? That was incredible! That was a very lucky scavenged artillery strike.
Flamethrower tanks.
Potentially game-ending one. 7 victory points remaining. He doesn't stop the clock right now.
Engineers ready for assignment.
This game is over.
Supply sector under attack.
This is going to fail. Those Jaegers are more than enough to stop that harassment attempt. So CaptainSPrice will stop the clock with 2 victory points left on the board, and all of his combat engineers just died to artillery.
More of our troops have been lost.
Once this King Tiger moves to push away the KV-8 in the south, I think we could be looking at GG. Repairs are going to take forever on this thing. This IS-2 is not going to be enough to defend 2 victory points at once. I don't think CaptainSPrice can win this without a miracle. Jesulin fielding a squad of infantry towards the south now. The IS-2 is here. Minesweeper will pick up that shoe mine. KV-8 will move back to screen and protect the VP. Center VP threatens being harassed by this Volksgrenadier squad, and they must be pushed away. This IS-2 is being repaired quite quickly. He should be able to stop this harassment attempt. He's going to need to manage harassment attempts in both the south and center simultaneously for the entire rest of the game if he can't control the north. This is being captured now, but they immediately retreat when the IS-2 reveals itself. Jesulin's very patient, doesn't want to risk a squad wipe. He still has 250 victory points to work with. He doesn't have to do anything that's going to put his squads in danger until it becomes a truly urgent situation. King Tiger gets a hit on the IS-2. IS-2 trades, both at relatively similar health remaining. Jesulin going with the Jagdpanzer. Nice maneuver with that IS-2, by the way. Got a nice hit on the rear armor while that was repositioning, bringing it to a little below half. Demo charge on the point. Combat engineers doing some harassment. More harassment happening here on this strategic point. Jesulin has only 2 victory points left on the board to get rid of. Needs to be careful about how he does it. Those 2 IS-2s are still a very real threat. I mean, CaptainSPrice has a 100 out of 100 PopCap army with which to defend his territory. Oh, don't forget about that shoe mine. Okay. Pretty aggressive push by CaptainSPrice here. This IS-2 just took a huge amount of damage, though, from Raketenwerfer and King Tiger fire. Gets a nice shot off on the King Tiger. Incendiary artillery being dropped on the Raketenwerfer. Field gun will screen the King Tiger's advance. IS-2 down here will be repaired after hitting the shoe mine right there, so it should be pretty alright. And a mine just goes off in the road from the incendiary artillery. Jagdpanzer takes a shot from the IS-2. KV-8 will require some repairs now as well. Meanwhile, Jesulin is harassing here in the north. Those Oversoldaten sneak onto that victory point while CaptainSPrice isn't looking. That could be the game as well. He will have to be careful and pay attention to the squads behind his tanks. Big squad wipe right there, though. Only 1 Volksgrenadier squad now remains for Jesulin. Looks like CaptainSPrice is content with the damage he just inflicted. He's going to pull back, maintain his control on the 2 victory points that he does have.
Isolated sector. Incendiary artillery is now available.
Jesulin has quite a bit of munitions in the bank, not so much fuel now that he purchased this Jagdpanzer. His map control this whole time has been very good as far as resources. Resource management is still a factor even 43 minutes into the game for both players.
Engineers ready for assignment.
Lots of repairs happening on both sides. Lots of Raketenwerfers too from Jesulin. If he makes enough of them and they start vetting up, they do become a more serious threat. Ooh. Meanwhile, an SWS half-track just casually cruises down to the South VP. Just checking it out, making sure there's nothing defending. And there are 2 Vet 3 IS-2s on the field right now. I don't know if I've ever seen that. That is a lot of veterancy. Gonna be a Vet 4 King Tiger if it lands 1 more shot too. Scavenge artillery, well positioned, well placed behind the IS-2s. That's probably gonna kill a bunch of stuff. If it gets another miracle spread. Or not, or it'll just hit nothing this time. That was good placement. Just didn't hit anything. Okay, well. Whatever. Combat engineers are going to try to counter-harass the half-track, apparently. KV-8's being engaged a little bit down here in the south. The Jagdpanzer and Raketenwerfer are moving to engage, and it just made a horrible maneuver. IS-2 support will be required down here. That KV-8 is done. I think. IS-2 is moving to engage. The other IS-2 is available up here, but not moving to engage. IS-2 goes in hard, and the KV-8 somehow makes it away, miraculously enough. Jagdpanzer may stick around, try and get a few shots off. King Tiger is not going to move. Oh, there it goes. It's going in. Jagdpanzer falling low. IS-2 looks like it wants to chase here, but it's missing its shots. Obersoldaten will try to harass the center, but that's a suicide mission with the other IS-2 defending. Looks like they might get away. Yes, they do. IS-2 shot misses by a hair. IS-2 wanted to finish the Jagdpanzer. Come on, fire! Oh, he just can't do it. He can't maintain a line. The Vet Fort King Tiger is hunting him down with superior health, but Jesulin will disengage, not wanting to expose his flank to the full health IS-2. Shot bounces off the King Tiger. Jagdpanzer so low. There it is. Jagdpanzer goes down. CaptainSPrice is content to slug it out with the King Tiger at short range. Pretty good position here. CaptainSPrice gets 2 penetrations in a row. Main gun destroyed, however, and there goes the IS-2 thanks to great Rakettenwerfer positioning by Jesulin. Field gun moves up to take a shot at the King Tiger, but it does not get a miracle. One more shot, maybe. Come on. 2 in a row bouts. Go for the third. There it is. The field gun behind the shed takes out the Vet Fort King Tiger. 3 consecutive shots and 3rd time's the charm. The King Tiger goes down. Oh my god. That's the game. That is the game. CaptainSPrice wins. And we will go into game 3 of the series. Good game. Allies win.